you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable. My name is Robert Bannon, and you're listening to us on the Broadway Podcast Network, or you're watching us on Broadway World or all social medias. You know, the New York Times calls Encompass Theater like the blend of musical theater and opera. And I think that sounds so fantastic and so fun and accessible to all people because Nancy Rhodes is here, and I get scared of opera because I am just a trashy Jersey guy. And I wanted to be able to, I want to be introduced and I want to have fun and be entertained. And this show, Unheard Voices, An Immigrant's Dream, sounds like just the right thing. It sounds just important, and it's so important, especially in 2024. And I'm so excited that Nancy Rhodes is here. We want to know all about what's going on over there with the theater company. Welcome to the Roundtable, Nancy Rhodes.
Hi, Robert. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, we're so excited to have you. And I was reading about your company. How long has Encompass Theater been around?
Oh my gosh, we started in 1975, 76.
Okay, so you're brand new to the scene. No, so you're about to celebrate 50 years.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. How does it seem like 50 years? Is it amazing that 50 years you've been able to keep the doors open and be putting on works of art in New York City?
Yes, it is amazing, and we're grateful and we're thrilled that we're keeping on, keeping on.
Yes.
And it's gone by very fast. So
I can imagine.
take
So
note.
yes, so you are the artistic director and the slash stage director of shows. So what is your role particularly when it comes to Encompass Theater?
Well, I'm also the co-founder, and yes, so I'm a stage director and writer and producer. So I do all of that, and keep an eye onto the wonderful, multicultural, talented musical artists from this country, and engage them and give them opportunities to be in shows that we do, and develop an audience that enjoys this kind of interesting musical theater dash contemporary lyric opera theater. So that's what I'm doing every day.
It's so fascinating to me. So when we think of opera, we think stereotypically that opera has to be a certain thing. We think of it as a certain look, of a certain feel, of a certain place. And at least for me, how do you define opera? What is the theme of your company?
Well, I go back to the great Broadway director, producer, Harold Prince, and he said, it's music theater no matter what it is. And we have focused on works from this country. Again, with multicultural composers and lyricists and writers, some from the earlier part of the century and current writers that we're working with now. So most of our work is in English, and it's on themes that are relevant to what's going on in our lives, and just giving opportunities to a vast tapestry of multicultural singing performers.
Ooh, I love this so much, Nancy. So I don't know if the website, when I was doing some research, it seems to be up to speed. Over 68 full-scale productions in your 50 years, and you've staged over 165 new works, from jazz to cabaret to musicals to opera. So how do people get their work to you? How do you find this work?
Well, we're always, we can be reached at any time by email, by telephone. We send out announcements through all of our artists. In fact, many of the productions that we've done have been recommended by some of our performers. So we're a very artistically driven company. We cherish the artists that work with us, and we know the training, the years, how often they receive rejections, how they spend hours rehearsing, learning. Many of our singers sing in 3 or 4 different languages, so it's we're always elevating the artistic person in our culture.
Oh, that sounds like a dream place to work and to put on some art, especially in New York City, where it's not always as kind and warm to the artist. You know, it's a business. You know, so how do you marry between the two? You put up this work, but I'm sure you get lots of support, and people can support. And what's the best way we can help keep a space like Encompass Theater still kicking?
Well, thank you for that question. There are several ways. Of course, we sell tickets to our performances, and we always are happy to receive donations. And of course, anyone who donates gets a tax deduction for their donation. And we also receive support from the New York State Council on the Arts. They are important sponsors, and the National Endowment for the Arts and other family foundations, and of course from our amazing board of trustees. They donate, and we're always happy to receive interest in anyone who would like to be on a board. And we do once a year something called a musical salute, where we do a big musical program and we honor one of the greats of Broadway and opera. And most recently, we honored Chita Rivera. And we've honored Barbara Cook. Sheldon Harnick was our great champion all through his life. Charles Strauss, John Kander. So we like to honor the wonderful creators, and we do shows and invite people. So that's how we support Encompass.
Oh my goodness, Encompass Theater. I fell in love with this idea. Just talking to you. Firstly, you're the cutest thing in the entire world. And secondly, fine, Nancy, I will come. I will see your shows. I will sing. I'll do whatever you want me to do. If you're looking for it while we're talking, and we're going to talk about their next big event, the Unheard Voices, coming in June. But go to encompasstheater.org if you want your information, if you want to see updates, the list of upcoming events and ways that you can contact and donate and be involved with the organization. So how did the idea? Firstly, grab your tickets while you're here too. While we're here, we might as well just keep the plug going. Unheard Voices is June 9th at 3:00 at the Green Space. So how did this idea come to you? How do you describe what this event is?
Yes, it's called Unheard Voices, an Immigrant's Dream. And one of our wonderful tenors named Oswaldo Irieta came to me and he said, you know, I have these 8 songs that I'm wanting to do something with. And Oswaldo himself, his family came from El Salvador, and some of these songs were from Argentina, El Salvador, and from this country. And so this was during the pandemic. And I looked at this and I thought, this is interesting. So we ended up making a music video, and we went up to Peekskill, New York, and we filmed it outdoors. So on June 9th, in addition to the songs, and we will also show 2 segments from the video. And we just had a rehearsal yesterday, and it looks spectacular on this wide screen that they have at the Green Space. So in addition to Oswaldo, we're going to be taking a journey around the world. So we have a violinist from Ukraine who works with her pianist, originally from St. Petersburg, Russia, and they're a duo called Sky Caravan, and they're gonna play this incredible theme from Schindler's List, the film, and they're also going to play a beautiful piece called Melody from one of the most beloved Ukrainian composers. And then, oh, I'm so excited about this. Our composer, Richard Pearson Thomas, wrote a song that Michaela McDonald will sing, and it's called "I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings." And this is a poem that was written in 1899 by, at that time, the most prominent African American poet of that time. And, you know, later, Angela Mailu picked up that title for her book. But that is from this poem by Paul Laurence Dunbar, written in 1899. And that's going to be sung by the beautiful African American singer, Michaela McDonald. And interestingly enough, this by coincidence, our composer, Richard Pearson Thomas, wrote about a cello and piano piece about his great grandmother, who in 1899, the same year that Mr. Dunbar was writing, his great grandmother, as a young girl, was sent from Sweden to Montana all by herself with only a little note pinned to her jacket. And she ended up in Montana, never to see her family again. So, you know, what is so amazing is the mixture of all these elements that make up America, make up our country, and from all different places. And everyone has a story to tell, and everyone has suffered and celebrated. And so that's what we're bringing at this time, because the voices of the immigrants that make up this country are stupendous, amazing.
Yes. Wow. You have a cross section of American history, but also world history. And I was just awestruck. Yes, the Latin America, South America, Hispanic culture that is represented in your show. But then you have a duo, a Russian and Ukrainian duo playing the theme from Schindler's List. I mean, it doesn't get any more about the world and politics and peace and what it's like than that. And then you add to it, you know, the struggle of people of color and their journey in American history. You really are telling a tale of various different immigrants and their story through this work of art.
Yes, yes. Through the celebration of music and singing and the people themselves and their legacy, and their own history, and that's what makes it so exciting about also living in New York City, because we're really a map of the world.
Yes, absolutely. And we all come from somewhere. My grandfather was an illegal immigrant who came here from Italy back in the early 1900s, told his story about coming here and not knowing any English and working to try to become, quote unquote, an American and raising his family here. We all have our own journey story.
Yes, yes. And Robert, I'm so excited because you picked up exactly what we're about. And you spoke about it so eloquently. So thank you for that.
No, it's very easy to understand when you get to see what it's done. It seems like a very well thought, put together. And I love the idea of your company because you don't fit into any box. You are about making art and giving people's voices to be heard. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and after the performance, we'll have a meet and greet with food and refreshments, and everyone can meet everybody, meet the artists, and we really always enjoy having that opportunity.
Oh, I love encompasstheater.org and get your tickets. Nancy, you have tickets. I'm not trying to be your accountant, but you know, you're in New York City and you get a ticket for about a third of what a Broadway show costs, about half of what an off-Broadway show costs. There are student tickets, there are senior tickets. Why is it important for you to make this affordable?
Well, we're always wanting to get our artwork out into the world and to invite people into what we're doing. We feel it's our job as artists to express something of value, but in a lively and beautiful way. We like to have people feel and experience, um, and so that's why. Also, for the first time, we will be able to live stream. So for $20. Um, anyone can sit at home and live stream. We've never been able to do that before, and the green space it makes that possible. So we're excited about that.
So you could be anywhere. You could be anywhere in the entire world, or you could join in and live stream with you all there. It's going to be a really special night, June 9th, 3:00 at the Green Space. Tickets are available. Like I said, senior students, regular tickets, all affordable for a full evening. Multi-sensory video, live music, lights, sound, the whole thing.
Yes, yes.
So what comes after this? What do? Do you take a nap? Do you keep on going? What?
Well, we don't take a nap. I wish we could. Well, on just jumping ahead a little bit, on October 27th, which is a Sunday, we will have our musical salute at the National Arts Club, and that's our big gala where we honor. And I'm not yet ready to announce the honoree, but it's going to be somebody really special. So that's coming up, and we do a big musical program, usually involving about 20 to 25 singing artists from Broadway and also from the new music opera community.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to follow on social media and check on the website so that we can see when you announce, because I'm sure it's going to be a big old gala and event. And I'm excited. So that's in October.
Yes, October 27th. It's a Sunday.
Okay.
And it's a big do. I mean, people have a great time because it's intimate. So when we honored Chita Rivera, everyone got to shake her hand and talk to her and get photographs with her. And so it's an event where you really get to meet the celebrity. And celebrities, by the way, are people who are giant, expressive beings, humble, and have worked their way through a lifetime. We've just been so honored to be able to honor and get to know many of these great writers and performers of the American musical theater.
Well, if Chita was last year, you must have been one of the very last events and galas that she was able to go to. She was a class act. She was about as sweet and kind as you can be.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Oswaldo Irieta, who's singing on June 9th, he sang Maria for her when we honored her. And she was just so thrilled and was so warm to him when he sang for her.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to stay up on the scoop and in the loop of all that you're doing, and I can't wait to see what you have up your sleeves. But first, before we even get to that and what's next, we all got to remember that June 9th. Nancy, you just keep putting up great work and giving artists. You get to do something really special, which is to give artists and singers and actors and people the chance to get up and do what they're supposed to do. And that is really, God's work here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Everybody, Unheard Voices, An Immigrant's Dream is coming to Encompass Theater. Get your tickets and come on down and follow and support. And if you're looking to throw a couple bucks to someone who's putting up great art, make sure you go to encompasstheater.org and find your way to donate money. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Robert. This was just a delight. And thank you for the work that you're doing. I mean, it's amazing.
I appreciate that. My show is your show. Anytime anyone wants to come, I'm going to have you come back in October and spill the beans and tell us all about your gala. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. Encompass Theater sounds like they're doing great stuff. If you love what you heard, if you like this show, if you like our mess, then I hope you can come join us every single day on the Broadway Podcast Network. We're on Fridays on Broadway World and also on YouTube. My name is Robert Bannon. I thank you so much for being here. Follow me at Robert M. Bannon and go to robertbannon.com if you want more information about little old me with my little old show. Thank you for being here. Until next time, bye, everybody. The best is yet to come.